day, everybody. This is Nel Carroco again, and today is Friday, and I received one message from our friend in Facebook, and that is from Senja. Senja asked me how to get an overall uniformity of 0.25 for a street lighting and 10 lux for an average. And he mentioned also the wattage of the street lighting and the pole spacing. All right. And then Senja also sent me this image, and I think Senja made it incorrectly, because when you do a street lighting calculation, you will not do like this. Okay, Senja, this is not the right way to do a calculation for a street lighting, or even if it's just a driveway, because I think it's just a big compound. Even if you say it's a driveway and it's a long run and it has, I think, 2 lanes, you need to make sure that you run it in street lighting calculation instead of an area lighting. If there are areas like parking area, yes, you can do that in area lighting or exterior lighting. But for the one with the long run of roads like this one, yes, you need to run it in street lighting calculation instead. Okay, because you cannot get a very good overall uniformity if you run a calculation like this in one shot. It's very hard and it's not correct. Okay, I will show you one of my project. Okay, so this is one of my project, and I have two options here. Yeah, so I have a median lane and also a one-side arrangement of a street lighting design. And but the original is I will show you the calculation report. I also have roundabout, and this is a big area like this one. So let's go and see the area lighting so you will appreciate it more. Okay, so I switch now to area lighting or exterior lighting, and this is the overall project. And you can see there are roundabouts and road lights. And the client also mentioned the possible locations of the street lights. And what I need to do is just to confirm if this layout will achieve the lux level requirements, overall uniformity, and threshold increments. Okay, so Senja, I did not run the full calculation by placing the calculation surface here in the overall layout. I just ran sample calculations here and also here for a double lane or the median lane, and also for the roundabout. But but the original thing is, or the right thing is, you need to calculate this one before you make sure that it's correct. Okay, so what I'm saying is, go to street lighting here first. Run a calculation here using the wattage that the client or your boss gave you. And then make sure you follow the tilting angle and also the wattage of the luminaire and also the spacing like what you mentioned here. And then once you do that, you can now easily say that you either achieve it or not by checking here. So if you got all check here, then it's okay. But before you do that, you need to find out if this calculation is for M3, C1, C2, M5, this definition you need to understand. But most of the time, the default for the dial-Lux is M4. Okay, if you want to know more about this, go and check my course in road lighting design techniques in Udemy and here. And I will teach you how you will identify what is the meaning of the M3, P1, C1, what are those standard means is in lighting design calculation, because you cannot just run a calculation by using the default, because there are some requirements on that one. Like what is this M2, M1, M3, M4, or maybe the C1, Z0. There is meaning for that. Okay, so once you achieve, for example, that the wattage and the spacing is already laid out in your calculation for a road lighting, you can now check it into your building and outdoor planning or in the exterior lighting like this one. And if your boss asks you to give you an overall uniformity of, say, for example, 0.25 with you said 10 lux with 0.25 overall uniformity. Yes, you can also check it here. Like for example, I have here, it's 24.4 lux with 0.74 overall uniformity. And this one has 18 lux with 0.33 overall uniformity, while my roundabout is 33 lux with 0.73 overall uniformity. Okay, so just pick one small space to run the calculation based on your spacing. You don't need to put the calculation surface for the whole road lighting. That is not correct. Okay, pick maybe a length of, say, for example, this is 83 meters long. Yeah, make sure you cover the luminaires for the whole road. You can see you need to cover at least 3 poles, like 1, 2, 3, like this one. Then you can find out if the lux value and overall uniformity is achieved. And if it's a curved line, don't go for the curved area unless your boss or your client asks you to do that. Because there are some areas that are curved here. You just laid out the calculation surface in this curved area or curved road, and then check if the overall uniformity is still there. But because the road is just a straight line most of the time. And so that's how you do it, Sengja. So go and check my course and revise your design now. Okay, so yeah, that's it for now. And on the next video, by the way, somebody asked me how I priced the project when I do my freelancing. Okay, so on the next video, I will teach you or I will tell you how I price the project. Yeah, because it depends sometimes if it's in UK or in Saudi or in Dubai or in Australia, because I also have some Australian projects for a freelancing, or yeah, also in Brazil. I always check for the currency and check the size of the project and also the company or the client company, because I need to know if they are capable to pay me or not. Okay, so on the next video, I will teach you how I price the project. All right, so Sengja, go and revise it. And of course, don't forget to enroll in this road lighting design techniques to learn more. It's only $19. You can afford it, or charge it to your boss. Okay, so see you again on the next video.